The first tip to being successful in a class is before you enroll, research the professor. Websites like Rate My Professor are great for this and can be utilized to help you avoid just flat out bad professors. Some schools also have course and professor evaluations. These evaluations are great because it's more generalized to your school, as well as showing the grade distribution for the classes that were taught by those professors. It makes it much easier to gauge how difficult the professor is actually going to be. Once you've decided what class to take with what professor and you're enrolled, the next thing is to keep track of your assignments. You can do this with a pen and paper, Google Calendar, spreadsheets, really whatever. I personally use Notion to track all of my classes, assignments, due dates, notes. It's just more convenient for me to have all the stuff in one spot, but by all means use whatever system works for you. Next is going to office hours. I'm sure your parents told you, "Hey son, you should really go to office hours. I hear it's a great way to get to know your professor, and you get to build that deep connection with your professor. You should be on a first name basis. Your professor should know your social security number. That's how close you guys are." Let's face it, you're not getting up for class as it is, you're not going to be able to make it to office hours consistently. My recommendation is going to the very first office hour that your professor holds and asking these two questions. Question 1. If you were taking this class, how would you go about note-taking and setting up a study plan? From this question, your professor is going to lay out exactly how you should approach the class with their teaching style and how to study for any midterms or finals that the course may have. Whether it's taking handwritten notes, doing practice problems, rewatching lectures. The second question is, are there any resources outside of lectures that you think would be useful to improve my experience in this class? Assuming your teacher isn't a dick and doesn't just say, "Well, I think you should just read ahead in the textbook." If your teacher actually cares about your learning, they'll point you in the direction of some useful resources, whether it's YouTube videos, articles, to help aid in any confusion that happens during the class. The last thing is to use the course outline as a roadmap. Chances are, whether it's on the course syllabus or course calendar, your professor has laid out what you're going to be studying in the class. Whatever topics are on the outline for next week, look them up on YouTube and find 1 or 2 videos that go over that topic. Watch those videos on double speed. You can now go into class having somewhat of an understanding of what you're going to be talking about before the professor goes more in depth. All you have to do is do this once a week for like 15 or 20 minutes and you're set. If you like this video, you should probably check out this one too. It's even better.